Hey there, loyal Motorcycle.com readers and viewers. So here we are in beautiful Kings Canyon National Park, bordering Sequoia National Park in California, home to the giant sequoias, beautiful mountain ranges, incredible roads, one of our national treasures. And we thought, what a better way to get up here than on these fine machines.
What we chose to take up here were the two top contenders in the Luxo touring market. We've got the long standby Honda Goldwing, slightly revised for 2012 with some upgraded suspension, a navigation system, and a few other components. And of course, we've got the new BMW K1600GTL. This is the new inline six-cylinder motorcycle from BMW, and we're here to find out if it can unseat the long-standing champion Honda Goldwing. Well, Pete, we have freeway miled from Los Angeles, rode up to Kings Canyon, rode through Kings Canyon, spent the night in Kings Canyon. We have spent the rest of today riding around the park. We are now in Sequoia National Park with some of the biggest trees in the world, which we felt was apropos for some of the biggest bikes in the world. After all this, a lot of twisty road riding and a bunch of freeway miles, what have we come up with?
Well, to reiterate what I said earlier in the day, it's pretty amazing that how much different character both bikes offer, even though they'll undoubtedly be classified in the same category, that is luxury touring. This is the touring motorcycle for the retiring sport bike rider, where the Goldwing has been targeted and where this thing is targeted. Even though it's a touring motorcycle, it's a sporting touring motorcycle.
And of course, BMW has, these little gills on the side, which we've both mentioned in our discussions that these little things are ingenious.
They're ingenious, and they make all the difference in the world when it comes to directing airflow and how airflow is altered depending on the position of the windscreen.
And an element, I know I mentioned it previously on our little mid-section ride, was the comfort level. And having actually just spent a couple of minutes myself in the passenger position on both bikes, I can verify what Maria was telling me, is that it is just not, again, as comfortable. Honda has been doing this Luxo touring bike stuff for so long. They've got it down. And I'm not saying the BMW is uncomfortable. It's a different sort of comfort. From the passenger's perspective, and you sit up higher, and it was kind of nice. You can see over the top of the rider's helmet, but it does put you more in the wind flow. But the seating itself, like the Honda has, the little padding back here where you can rest your elbows, and as grab handles you can hold on to. A design flaw in BMW is they have grab handles, but the seat comes over and covers them.
Completely obscured and almost of no effect. So there is another aspect to kind of rehash what you just talked about, where Honda has had all this development time, and they've shown that they spend a lot of time thinking about the passenger as well as the rider. BMW's focus, at least from this quick assessment, is not that they're unconcerned about the passenger, but there's more thought for the rider. And on this bike, the passenger almost seems not so prioritized. Honda has made it clear that they're concerned about their passenger.
Yeah, and what BMW has done, which I think BMW is well known for, is their refinement. And what I'm speaking to now is refinement in the controls, the rider layout up front. Honda has a menagerie of buttons here that really take a while to really remember what button does what to help stop yourself from looking down all the time. BMW's come up with this ingenious little spin wheel on the left-hand side where you have a menu button, you can have a selector that you roll with the donut, and then you can select off of that as well. Choose radio stations, increase, decrease your volume without looking anywhere. Just grab, roll, push. Fantastic.
And this is kind of where the Honda starts to show its age a little bit, not just with the datedness of the technology, I guess, but also visually. It looks like it's ready for an upgrade.
Yeah, it's a throwback to the 90s, easily.
In the cockpit, for sure. So moving on to some more of the finer details and things that are really going to kind of separate these machines. The BMW is loaded with a gaggle of technology. It has traction control. It has electronic suspension adjustment, which ESA, something that BMW's had for a while, so that's not particularly new, but it is a feature that this comes with. And there's a variety of settings you can change within that. You can adjust for passenger, you can adjust for luggage, no luggage. You can also then adjust for the type of riding you're doing. So not just the load you're carrying, but the kind of performance level. If you're riding aggressively, it will firm up suspension. Or if you want to just cruise down the freeway, it'll make it a nice plush ride. And it's not just a gadget. It's effective. You can feel it when you make the changes.
It changes the personality of the bike.
It does.
The Honda does have a preload adjustment knob on here, and it's not in comparison to what the BMW offers. It'll stiffen up the suspension somewhat, especially if you're riding 1 up or 2 up, and you can feel a difference. Pete cranked it up very high to try to help out when he was riding solo through some of these twisties. And I jumped back on it with Maria, and we're on a bumpy road, and it was bucking us out of the seat. So I had stop, pull over, which you have to do. You can't do it while you're in motion, and then back it down. So you can feel a difference in it. But again, comparatively from what this offers to what that BMW package is, there is no comparison.
Luggage, also obviously a major feature of both these motorcycles. Tom made a really good point the other day. Every bag on the BMW is detachable. The Honda's bags are part of the bike. That's not necessarily a deal breaker or a bad thing. They're nicely integrated. That keeps the shape of the Honda slimmer in that way. However, Tom made a good point when it comes to pack. It sure is a nice thing to remove the BMW's bags, take them into your room at night with all your stuff, rather than having to unload the bag and cart armfuls of clothes and sundries and whatnot. So, we obviously haven't covered every single aspect, but hopefully we've given you kind of a thumbnail view of what's going on with these machines. I like them both for different reasons. I guess I've said this I don't know how many times now, but I keep harping on it. This stands out as the sport rider's touring motorcycle. This is a great touring motorcycle for the guy and husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, that maybe have all the time in the world, maybe they're semi-retired, and they're going to go from California to Maine. Goldwing is an excellent choice to have for that purpose.